Focus of them is what is going on with the children in Escambia County. Why are so few of them graduating from high school? Why are so many of them getting arrested and sent to adult court? And a whole number of problems with our children. And so that was what provoked us to get started on this series. And I'm going to say a little more about that in just a minute, but I'd like to recognize a few people at this point. I don't think I see any elected officials in the audience. Is anybody here who holds a public office? No? Okay. Let's see. Sarah Latshaw, the ACLU. This is Sarah. She is a collaborator with us. We really are glad. How about Bruce Watson with the Early Learning Coalition? Tim Putnam with Children's Home Society. No, none of those people. Okay. And now for a moment of housekeeping. You know where the food is. It's right next door. The bathrooms are on down the hall, and pay no attention to the gender specificity. Just grab one if you need one, and you can excuse yourself if you need to during the program. Do please mute your phones. And I want to recognize some of the people who have worked actually on this program tonight. And the first one is Patricia Parker. Where is Patricia? There she stands in the back, and she has an announcement.
Come on up so everybody can hear you.
Okay. My husband says I have a teacher voice.
Well, you do, but we don't all have to eat.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm Patricia Parker. I'm a social worker here in the Pensacola community, actually out at the Navy base. But I worked in schools and mental health and other places. We wanted to sponsor our this event because we think it's so important to understand about resiliency and the impact of trauma on people and how it carries you through life. So this is, I think we helped out with Paper Tigers when that was shown about like a year ago. And so the National Association of Social Workers is co-sponsoring this with all the hard work you guys do. It's easy to tag along and help out, so I appreciate that. If you are a social worker and you want to get a certificate or in-service points, you can get them for free, and I have the forms you'll need to fill out, and I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.
Yeah, she was the spark that got this moving this time. She ordered the film and, you know, all of the important stuff. Okay, and another person on my committee is Ray Huggins. And he was out there signing people in along with his wife Mary. They're also on the committee. And Shirley Lewis Brown. Where's Shirley? She's here. She's another hardworking member of this committee. And we also had input and help from the social work department at the university. Where's Julie Patton? There she is on the front row. Okay, well, Julie also was very helpful, and a special thank you, very special thank you to all of the people who brought food. I'll tell you, it's very hard to come straight from work here on an empty stomach and try to pay attention and not fall asleep. And another special shout out is to James Scaminazzi, who is over here. He has videoed and blogged about every one of our 6 or 7 or 5, however many programs we've had, and they're all posted on his blog, so you can find them. Yeah, Bill's writing out where you can find them. CJ's Street Report's the name of it.
When you Google, all you have to do is hit this much, and it'll come up. And all of the programs that we've done and others are there on the site. It's a great resource to see what's been going on.
Yeah, they're done in chronological order, so you have to search back for the ones that were earlier. The most recent ones will come up because they're this year, but then you have to look at last year and just keep looking. They're there. Okay, after the film, I will introduce our moderator. At this point, it's supposed to be Lisa Nellison Laurel, but she's not here yet, and so we will have a substitute if she doesn't make it. she will introduce the panelists, and after each panelist speaks, we'll have questions from the audience. The questions and comments should be written on the cards, which were being handed out as you came in, and we can get more cards. That way, we can read them up here in the microphone so that everyone can hear the questions and also the answers from the people up here. And let's see. Originally, this program was called the School to Prison Pipeline. And that name was adopted because that's sort of a national catchphrase. A lot of people are using that. However, that is just too narrow. That is not the whole problem. A lot of people and organizations were interested in learning why our statistics were so bad. So we all joined up together, and I've introduced most of them, and asked people to sit on the panels and invited people to come and tell us what it meant so that we could make improvements, not just in school, law enforcement, Justice Department, prisons, poverty, the whole range of things, which is all a part of it. And we have since changed the name from School to Prison Pipeline to just the pipeline to prison, because that's more accurate. And also it doesn't put anybody on the spot. The school is a good place to intervene, but so are all these other places. All right. The problem is lifelong and complicated, and we all own a little piece of it. And there are a lot of areas in which I'm very heartened to see people taking up a piece of the problem and working on it. The Escambia School District, along with the Children's Home Society, has a pilot program at C.A. Weiss School. It's called a community school. On the same campus, they have health service, dental service, mental health service, in addition to the teaching that goes on. This is something that, and they've got a washing machine in case the kids have dirty clothes. You know, they have all kinds of things to take care of the whole child. And it's just remarkable. This is a pilot program, and I think they're the beginning of their second year now. So we'll see how that works out in salvaging or saving or helping some of the kids who are having trouble. The school, the thing that we saw, the paper tigers thing that we saw a year or so ago, was set in a community school in Walla Walla, Washington. And it had been going on for some time and had remarkable results. It was a high school for kids who were underperforming. And they had really made remarkable changes in those kids' lives. So we have hope for our local pilot program. Law enforcement locally is also doing its part. They're beginning to use something called civil citations. And that means instead of immediately arresting a child who writes on the walls or gets in a fight or does any of those things that kids do, instead of arresting that child and charging them with a misdemeanor, they have the option of giving them a civil citation, which means that they have things they have to do. They have to make restitution of some sort. They have to maybe write a paper. They have to do community service. There are things they have to do so they don't get off scot-free, but nonetheless, they don't get arrested. They don't have a prison record to follow them for the rest of their lives. And that is a very good thing. The Pensacola Police Department is doing a real good job with using the civil citations instead of charging kids. The Studer Group is focusing on ages birth to 3. And Achieve Escambia is focusing on cradle to career. And so there are a lot of people around town recognizing that there's a problem and picking up little pieces of it. And I'm in hopes that it all comes together and does really good things for our kids. That's the hope. And it's exciting. When you're working in a silo and only working on a little piece of it, then you don't quite pull it all together, but I think more and more people, especially in this age when we can talk to each other so easily and text each other, tweet each other, do all that stuff, then we can pull together. Tonight's documentary is different. We are not looking particularly at one piece of this program. We're not looking at just law enforcement or just schools or just the health services. We're looking at the children who are in danger of falling into the pipeline. This documentary is about something called adverse childhood experiences. This is a subject that the American Pediatric Academy calls the #1 health problem today. That's quoted in this film. And the American Academy of Family Practice in a recent article said, addressing this problem is the ultimate health promotion and prevention medicine intervention. And so it's coming to the attention of a lot of people. And it impacts all of us. In your packet, you have the 10 questions or the 10 areas that people answer whether or not. You'll hear more about it within the film, and if you have questions, you can ask later. Again, welcome, and I think we're ready to start the documentary as soon as the lights get taken care of. Any questions for me before we get started? Okay, very good. Let's go.